Hello and welcome. In this video we're going to take this little kit here and build it. This was a purchase off eBay and it was I think about £5, and it's a little Christmas decoration. So to start off we'll have a little look at what's inside here. So we've got, start off with some green LEDs, some red LEDs. Strip of resistors, all look to be the same value. Okay, there's some ribbon, which is obviously to hang it with. Put that over there. Printed circuit board, 2 resistors which are a different value. I know this because I did take a look at the circuit diagram. And a load of LEDs. So it seems to me that with this kit what is probably going to be the most difficult thing to do is to put in place the surface mount component. This is either going to work really well, or this video is going to be an absolute disaster. If it turns out to be an absolute disaster, you won't be watching it. It will go in the delete bin. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this up here a little bit on a box and get it a little bit closer to the camera so we can actually see the board. And I've got a very thin nib I'm going to put on my soldering iron. So I'm very lucky that I have a really good selection of tips for my iron. I think this one here is probably going to be the closest. So first time for this, I've never changed the tip on it. I'm assuming that it's an unscrew, and I'm also hoping that the tips are the same as conventional Weller from back in the day off my old iron. And look at that. Put the back on and heat that back up. Can't actually turn the iris down on my camera any more than this. So I'm going to start off and just put a bit of solder on this pin. I'm hoping that I can just grab it, so I'll show you on that pin there. Okay. I will say that has gone together a lot better than I expected. I'm currently using a 400 degree iron, 400 degrees Celsius, and I'm using leaded solder. I'm more than happy with that, that's worked. Some light on the subject, there we go. So when we look at this now, from what I can see, 2 resistors are different to the rest. And we've got his resistor numbers. Wonderful. So here is a circuit diagram. This has come off the eBay auction, and we can see that the bulk of the resistors here are 1k resistors. R2 and R1 are 10k. So now we know where the 2 odd resistors go. Let's locate on here R1 and R2. So R1's there, R2's there. So we'll do those 2 first before doing any others, because all the rest are the same. So there's R2. There's R1. And you pop them over and pop a bit of solder on them. There we go. I've just turned my tip temperature up to 450 degrees C, just because this has got to penetrate, and when I was doing the IC I didn't want it getting too hot. Okay, so we have this lot here now. So I think sensibly the next thing to do is to put all of these other resistors into place. We'll just start in one place and just run them in. Now I don't know which one of these are meant to be red, which ones are meant to be green. We'll work that out in a minute. So I think I'm going to just start here and work around. So like with many circuits, I'm starting with the most flush components first, which in this case are the resistors. So we can put these in and we can sit it flat on a surface and it will still allow us to be able to solder them. If we were to put the LEDs in first, it would then mean there'd be a gap between the resistors and the surface we were resting it on, and it just makes things a little bit more difficult. It's not impossible. Okay, there we go, let's do some more. I'm bending these by hand because even though I've got a tool for it, most of you out there in YouTube land probably wouldn't. So what I'm doing is just bending them over, feed them in, and then just push them into place, and they go the last little bit. These resistors are, the legs on them are actually really soft, so they are very compliant. Okay. So even if you end up with way too much leg, they'll still go in. Okie dokie. So even if you were really bad at this and just sort of shoved them in like this, they will still go down flat. So again, I'm going to solder that group. But I will say, with this board, unlike one of the other Chinese boards I've done, this is actually soldering quite respectably. I'm not struggling with it. If you look in one of the other videos, I did a glowing LED and the board fought me. I think I'm going to trim them before I go any further. So all I'm going to do is get my cutters, just cut them off like that. Back in a sec. We'll just carry on round and do the remaining resistors. There we go. And turn that over and we'll do the same again and just solder all these legs. And I'm going to trim them off. Edge of missed soldering one. So even though I've trimmed it, we can just come in and pop a bit of solder. There is no markings on this board for anode or cathode. So here's the capacitor. Just there is a little plus. Long leg is positive. And off we go. So I'm going to solder that into there. Okay, trim that. Then we're going to get the battery holder, which goes on the back. I'm going to assume that the square end is there and the round end is there because that's how the little picture's drawn. So, and put them into there. It's not been the easiest of tasks because the actual battery holder has been falling apart. So I managed to get the two of them to solder. I'm going to pop a battery in it and let's grab an LED. I'll try it that way. Nothing. Try it that way. Okay. So it's looking like at this point in time that the circuit's not actually working. So I don't know if it needs some load on it. So at the moment the long leg is going to the outside of the board. Then we'll try the same with the greens. And yeah, we'll just solder this together and see what happens. Long wire on the outside. Okay, let's flip that over and we'll solder them in. Now, what I was saying earlier about the height of components has just become clear, because as I've soldered these in, well, as I've gone to solder these in, they've fallen out because the capacitor that's in the middle is pushing everything away. So what I've got to do is just pull them into place as they're soldered. See there? No, not a biggie. So, okay then. Okay, let's do the inside legs on them as well. Just realised I was out of shot a little bit there, very sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to check on my reds look nice and knock the legs off them. And as I've done that, I've noticed that this one here, I haven't soldered the inside one on, so I'm just going to give that a bit of solder, and let's pop a battery back in and see what happens. Again, it's just coming on. And absolutely nothing from the greens. So, is this a problem with the diagram? Is this a problem with the circuit? Have I soldered something wrong? Have I not soldered something right? Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest of the diodes in, and what I'm wondering is, a lot of the tracks are on the back. Have they run the circuit through, or is it a flat battery? Now, what I did see then when I put that on was the green came on. So that's confirmed that the green is the right way round with the tracks out, with the legs out. So we'll do that. It could be, I've not looked at the circuit, it could be requiring the LEDs, the green LEDs to flatten the capacitor to then trigger the change. Either way, I think we're just at the stage that we'll assemble it and see what happens. Okay, let's flip that over and start soldering. I find it really oddball that these LEDs have all got different legs on them. And we'll solder the back ones. I don't expect this is actually going to work, but you never know. Okay, snippy time. Okay, so tidied them up. Moment of truth. Got a battery. And it's not oscillating. That's a little bit sad. Yeah, I was having a look at their photo and just making sure that the well, number one, that the IC was in the right way around, and there's the line on there, there's the line on there, and making sure that that capacitor was also the right way around. I'm also, you can see the flat bits on the diodes on the LEDs are all on the inside as well there, so that's just double checking. The one hole hasn't cleared out fully, so what I'm going to do is just line it up on the one like that, put a little pressure on it, and we'll just put a bit of heat from behind, and hopefully it will see sense and come back into place. It is. Okay, and put this back on and see if we have any change in behaviour. No, it's just going to light up red. A little bit of a shame, as it had the potential to be kind of cool, but it's hit and miss with things from China, I suppose. This one hasn't worked, but I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Yeah, it's shown you the pitfalls. We've checked that's in the right way around, we've checked that's in right, we know all the resistors are right. I think that it's just a bad IC. I haven't got another one to swap it for, unfortunately, so yeah, thank you for watching. Have a look at some of the other stuff we've done, and there's going to be another Christmas video on as well, which is one that we're building a musical Christmas tree. Thank you.